Hi, good evening. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. I'm about to do a response to some of our comments, just to bring you up to date on some things. I guess we should have a frequently asked questions section on our channel, because at the rate that we are gaining subscribers, it is quite a spectacular. It's not quite as spectacular as it was a little while ago, when we were gaining sometimes 1,500 subscribers a day. But it is pretty awesome. And let me see. I'm just looking now on our little readout. It tells us how many we're gaining, and it gives them on a monthly basis, and I don't know quite how it averages this out, but it does. And at the moment, we're subscriber change, we are plus, and this is last 28 days, plus 7,211 is what it got, what it's got here. But actually, it sometimes works out like 400 a day, 300 a day, and more. So because of that, it's inevitable that we will get the same questions answered, asked over and over. So I'll try to deal with some of them here. I mean, some of them are just quick comments, which we will give a quick response to. Okay. There's always something about Beth's hair. Okay. Beth's eating habits, how she sits with her knees up and eats with her fingers. Well, so what? That's my answer to that. So there's the other things which you must realize come from the fact that we're living not in paradise, even though it is a paradise to us. It's a paradise of sorts. And in that paradise of sorts, there are goats, cats, dogs, there are puppies, there are chickens, there are roosters. There are children making a mess. There are dogs making a mess. There are all kinds of people making a mess. There are building workers who are also making a mess, because they're there to get the job done and not to make this look like a dude ranch in America. If only it was that way, but it's not. It's I always call it a scruffy little farm. You know, it's beautiful to me. Believe me, I'm not making any complaints. I love where I live. I'm living exactly where I am. I want to be. And so that's something that we tend to just raise our eyebrows when we see another one of those. Beth, clean your house. Terence, pick up the trash. There's all kinds of advice on how we... I guess in America, where they always have the best sayings, the shoulda, woulda, coulda routine, where people tell us how to build, they tell us how to run our lives, what to do about chickens, what to do about Beth's hair, whether I should be going to church. One said that I was going to church in old clothes and muddy boots. Yeah. Okay, we live about 2 miles from the road on a muddy track. Now, let's talk about the muddy boots, shall we? No, let's not. So, what else? What have I written down? Some little things. Cats in the kitchen, dogs in the kitchen, animals in the kitchen. It's a farm. The only thing we don't allow is chickens and goats in the kitchen. Cats are a part of our lives. They're a part of our family, as are the dogs, although not to the same extent. But I've tried speaking in a very clumsy Visayan, matched or part dog, part English, and the dogs don't pay any attention. And even though I say very, very clearly, no dogs in the kitchen, surprisingly, they still come in the kitchen, as do the cats. And anybody who is a cat lover, you and I know how much good it takes saying to a cat, I don't want you on, pussycat, I don't want you on the table. Okay, is that clear? Oh good, I'm so glad we got that sorted out. What else? James building techniques. Well, they have a channel of their own, and you can address your questions to him directly. What's he going to do about this, and what's he going to do about that? I'm sure he'd be very happy to tell you. Also, let me see, Jessica's pajamas. Oh, that's a hot subject. Jessica's pajamas, and the idea. Lots of comments about the idea that Jessica and James are working together, building their house. Personally, I always thought that was a tremendous thing. You know, that two people who love each other and have a family and are actually down there working together and happily. I don't see any arguing. I don't see any discussions or second guessing or anything. I just see two people being together. Jessica even has taken some pots and pans down there and actually does a bit of cooking there next to her loved one. How bad can that be? Not at all, to my mind. So look, let me see. That's it. Clean your house. Pick up the trash. Get the kids. Lots of advice about what to do with the kids and how to get them cleaning up and picking up the trash and all of that. And somebody said you should get your stepson involved. Have you not watched any of the videos in which two of the boys, Balalut and Ako, have been working very, very hard on a paid basis as labourers, and they're digging up soil from just about down, just the start of going down the hill past James and Jessica's house, and they fill bags, they filled old cement bags, fill them with soil, and then they carry them about maybe 100 yards to where they are filling in the low spot on the house floor for the storage. And they're doing that most of the day. Tough young lads, and they're working, and they bargain for their money, try to get more, and Beth deals with them. And they're working and doing that. And they did it all without our being told. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. What else? Questions on moving out here. Now I get people very recent subscribers. As I say, sometimes we're adding 300, 400, 500 new subs a day, and those new subs are very welcome. And I always try to at least, when I see new sub here, I always try to say welcome to our YouTube family, and I mean it, and I put a little flower there. So it's inevitable that there will be questions. Now a lot of these questions are from people, mostly, well, guys who have come in and they've looked at a couple of things and they say, wow, this looks great, and then they start to formulate the idea of coming to live out here. Well, the most direct thing that they can do is write to somebody who runs a YouTube channel who is in the Philippines and ask them questions direct. The only problem with that is that we now have 114,000 subscribers. So dealing with comments and the like, and questions, messages, email, gets to be quite a challenge. So if it is that you write to me and you don't get an immediate response, even though I am of that sometimes annoying habit that as soon as I see the thing, if I can answer it there and then, I do. But some are frequently asked questions. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, maybe we should just have a frequently asked questions section. But most of these are fairly obvious questions, like how do I get a visa? Well, these are easy questions to answer, and they've all been done to death over and over in our videos. So it is just a matter of looking back, and if you go and look, you will find those answers. You'll find out exactly what I think about whether you should bring all of your stuff with you. You'll find out whether I think it's possible to live in the Philippines without being married to somebody, without being married to a Filipina, that is, and what do you do about the visas. It's all very, very straightforward, and it's not a secret. It's not one of those things where I'm on the inside with all of the inside information. Oh, listen, by the way, if you need a visa, here's what you do. It's not one of those. Somebody wrote to me and said that they thought that I should be very careful about advising people to withhold information when they go for their visa. I don't remember ever doing that, because I'm a great believer in thinking that you can't be busted for telling the truth. So while it is true that sometimes when you come into this country, you may be asked to show your moving on ticket. Now, lots of people come, and they're coming. One person was coming, and they were intending to get married, and they were concerned about the visa. And I told them, well, if you come and you have a ticket for going on to, say, Thailand, and you've got no intention of going on to Thailand, is that deceitful? Is that what? It is to comply with what the requirements are. In order to enter the country, you are supposedly expected to have a traveling on ticket. Okay, so that's a fact. If you change your mind about moving on, you are legally entitled to go along to the immigration and ask for a renewal of your visa. And you can do that for something like 3 years. Now, I always say on questions like this, which with the government and immigration especially are ever changing, to really get the right answer, you need to go to the source. Everything else is anecdotal. I can come on with absolutely the hottest bit of information that's been given to me by somebody who has just entered the country, and I can tell you that piece. It may be hot off the day, but it's still anecdotal. It's still the story that someone gave to me that was an account of something that happened in his personal experience. Who will tell you what kind of visas are available to you? The Philippine government are only too happy to give you all of these informational question answers. And they're only too happy to do that. They want people to come and bring their money in. This is very important. So, you need to go to the source for the real answers. And that's what I always say. I don't care who the expat is. I don't care how clued up they are. I don't care whether they've got their information that very day. I don't care whether they just arrived here that day and the customs officer said to them, or the immigration said to them, this is what you should do. You go through to the source, and that is the only bona fide question and answer that is valid. So that's what I suggest on that. What else was it? I think that's probably it. The dogs and the kids packing up the trash and all of that. We are doing what we can to keep it as tidy as we possibly can. Now here's a clue that you should remember. When you are posting a suggestion as to what should happen. For instance, if you're posting a suggestion about litter being picked up, the video has ended. Yeah? It's like watching a movie and thinking that a movie that was made, say, 10 or 15, or look at Star Wars. Do you think that Mark Hamill looks the same? No. Time has gone on for Mark Hamill, and he's now 20, what is it 20 or 25 years for Star Wars? He's looking a lot older. He's not young Mark anymore, okay? And so just bear that in mind, that things move on. Now, there's not 20 or 30 years involved, but you might be looking at something that happened last year. I often, over and over, I get questions asked about Nisa. Well, what's happened to her? Is she? We don't know. We get a lot of questions asked about Maria, who used to be Mitch's girlfriend. The answer is they broke up. Where is she? Gosh, gotta be honest, I don't actually know. She was Mitch's girlfriend for a while, and then they broke up. She was in the same community, shall we say, same family as the three little girls. She's not there anymore. Where is she? Don't know. And there's a lot of things that I don't know. There's a lot of things that I have no interest in sharing, and so I reserve the right. We are probably the most transparent of all of the expats where money is concerned, even what we earn. It's not always everybody's business. So that's about it on our little session for answering some of the comments that come in. Some of them, only some of them. So, thanks for looking in. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.